I'm here tonight with Arapahoe County Commissioner Bill Holen from District 5, and we are going to update you on the latest county business and give a look ahead to 2021. The conversations events are quarterly, and we do them with each commissioner in their respective districts. Typically, we would prefer to do them in person, but of course, with the COVID restrictions, we're unable to do that right now. We hope to return to in-person events later this year. And when we do that, we're planning also to still have this live stream so we can get the best of both worlds in terms of maximizing attendance, but also giving you an in-person option if you want it. So before I introduce Commissioner Holen, I just want to talk a little bit about how this is going to work. We have some slides to show you about what's going on in the county lately. And then we will open it up to audience questions. If you're joining us on the phone, all you have to do is dial *3 and you'll be put through to an operator and they'll put you in the queue to ask a question. And if you're watching this online, either on our webpage or our Facebook page, you can just put a question in the comments box and we will get to those as soon as we're done presenting. So with that, I'd like to introduce Commissioner Bill Holen.
Thank you, Luke. I'm Bill Holen, as you probably know, and I want to express my appreciation to the constituents of District 5 who have chosen to send me back for re-electing me for my third and final term. I've enjoyed representing you as a county commissioner and will continue to listen to your concerns, provide the best services that the county can provide, and ensure that we do address effectively the current issue that's of the COVID-19 virus and its tremendously negative impact upon our economic situation in the county and throughout the nation. The county is currently in level yellow on our Dial 2.2 program, which is defined by the State Department of Health and Environment. Level yellow allows a certain percentage of people to enter various facilities, particularly restaurants, and still have to wear masks during their entrance into the facility to ensure that we maintain a environment of protection to prevent the spread of COVID-19. We have completed our initial application process for the 5-star certification program, which is primarily used by restaurants. And if restaurants adhere to these specific requirements and conditions, they will be allowed to move up in terms of the number of constituents or clients that can come in and utilize their facilities. We're getting very close in terms of the criteria, which will move us to the blue level, which will even open up more opportunities for our constituents to begin to purchase and become involved in recreational activities. Restaurants will be more will allow more people to participate in their services, and this will be determined by criteria set forth by the Colorado Department of Health and Environment. Vaccinations are now in progress throughout the county. We anticipate an increase in vaccinations excuse me, and vaccinations facilities and mass vaccination opportunities to be open to the county, where more of our individuals in the county can receive vaccines. Right now, we're in the process of making sure that at least 75% of the over 70 population receives vaccination. Then we'll move down to another level, which will be people over 60, and other constituents such as first responders, and we're very committed to ensuring that our teachers are given an opportunity to get vaccines so that they can protect our children. And as we move back into a more formal face-to-face educational system. But the important thing to remember is that the COVID threat is still out there, particularly now with understanding that there are certain variances that are emerging in Colorado that are even more um, uh, likely to cause infections, as well as more severe uh, 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 more severe reactions to the vaccine. However, we're finding that those people that have gotten vaccinations are less likely to have those severe reactions. So we encourage everybody to go to the various facilities that are open. There are some mass vaccination sites. Also, certain um, drugstores are open to that opportunity. And by going online to the Tri-County Health Department website, you can find out where those locations are and make sure that you make it known that you want to participate in their program. They'll put you on the list, and you will be called at the appropriate time. The the Tri-County Health Department has worked very closely with the county. We have ensured that we provide the necessary resources for them to operate more effectively. We have received quite a few funds from the COVID relief package. In fact,
Hi, thank you for joining the Access Live event. As a reminder, if you'd like to get in line to ask a question, please press *3 on your telephone keypad at any time during the call. Again, if you'd like to ask a question, please press *3 on your telephone keypad. The call will resume momentarily. Thank you for your patience.
Still got you, Commissioner.
Our 2020 COVID relief package has been dispersed, nearly $114.5 million from the Federal CARES Act. $56.5 million have been shared directly with our 13 counties. This has allowed them to disperse these funds to various community organizations to help them deal with direct costs that have been incurred as a result of the COVID virus. All funds went to COVID-specific relief efforts and programs to support economic recovery. Moving into 2021, the county is continuing to support testing, vaccination distribution, housing, and food insecurity, and rent and mortgage assistance to individuals who have been directly affected by the COVID virus. The county is very committed to economic and business relief programs that have been created and expanded as a result of the federal CARES fund that we've received. In collaboration and cooperation with AD Works, we have put on webinars, job fairs, skilled classes, and more programs that will help individuals who have been directly affected by the COVID virus develop their job skills so that they can find more favorable opportunities in the job market at better salaries and more opportunities once we've totally recovered from the COVID crisis. Targeted programs also exist for veterans and seniors in these areas, and we have direct specific programs within the county works program that will help those individuals improve their job skills and develop truly beneficial skills that will help them become more successful in their career opportunities. For information concerning 80 Works program, simply go online to 80works.com, and that will provide you with information about the available programs that can help you improve your employment opportunities, develop more saleable and skills that will help improve your economic situation. Our program at 80 Works shows that those people that participate in our specific programs to help enhance their job skills, upon successful graduation, then nearly 70% of those people that enter the program successfully graduate, that their income, their specific income, increases by anywhere from $20,000 to $15,000 over what they're currently making. So it's an opportunity that you should not pass up. We have available funds and programs that will help you improve your job skills so that you can really get involved in a career path that will provide you with both economic and meaningful employment opportunities in areas that you can develop skills to be competitive in. Our Human Services program under the CARES Act provides for people who are suffering from temporary or long-term unemployment and lack of adequate housing. We do have hotel and motel vouchers available to you that you can find temporary shelter during this very difficult economic period. We also provide funding for food banks and the Meals on Wheels program that will help, at least on a temporary basis, provide you with adequate nourishment for you and your family. We also provide and support the behavioral and physical health organizations throughout the county, such as in the Aurora area, the Aurora Mental Health organization, which will provide you with counseling and other services for both you and your children, as well as provide you with referrals to other agencies within the county that can help you in this very serious economic and stressful emergency. Our Human Services program also provides recommendations and help in directing you to appropriate food and financial benefits that will benefit you directly, such as the SNAP program, which provides you with finances to allowing you to be able to go directly to food organizations and food programs that will provide you with help in providing adequate nourishment for your families. The Human Services program also provides child and adult protection services for those children and elderly adults who may be impacted by abuse and neglect. And we take that program very seriously to ensure that our children are protected, our adults, our elder adults are protected, and ensure that their lives are protected. Their health and welfare is provided with adequate services. In 2021, we're going to be facing some interesting challenges, and one of those is in terms of our budget. Although the county has not been impacted as much as the municipalities and cities have been in Arapahoe County, because a lot of their revenue comes from direct sales tax. And of course, as many of you know, because of the COVID virus, we have seen significant reduction in the economic opportunities for our small businesses and other organizations. People just aren't spending their money. So as a county, we rely more heavily on our property taxes, which helps us a little bit, but we still are going to face financial constraints in the 2021 budget. So we're really exercising fiscal restraint in as we develop the next year's budget to ensure that money is adequately available for those programs that provide direct services to our constituents. And as many of you know, this year will be a property tax assessment year, whereby we will be reevaluating the value of the homes in the county to upgrade and determine their value, which we base our next year's property tax assessment on. The county is in the process of developing a strategic plan, which is looking to the future, which addresses many of the problems that we've already discussed, and ensuring that we have adequate resources to fulfill our statutory requirements and obligation, our mandates that we have from state law, as well as evaluating the importance of maintaining the quality of life commitment that the county has made to all of you. In that process, we are evaluating county operations, which means we're looking at all the responsibilities and operations that we have in the county to ensure that they're being not being fiscally responsible and adequately staffed to fulfill their obligation. At the same time, looking for opportunities where we can save the taxpayers' money to ensure that we restrain our budget to allow us to maintain our required reserves that we have to maintain in terms of our state responsibilities and table responsibilities that is required in the statute. One of the other issues that is facing all of us, whether you're a homeowner or whether you're an organization as large as Arapahoe County, is how do we maintain and ensure that our facilities and infrastructures are adequately maintained. So we're reviewing all of those issues since we weren't successful in reaching out to our constituents to provide funding for a new jail. That we have to make sure that all our facilities, including the jail, our courthouse, and other operational requirements within the county, are adequately funded. And that requires sometimes, because our budget can't do everything. So we have to evaluate those programs and construction and maintenance opportunities that are required, and to ensure that we have a stable and effective infrastructure to meet the needs not only of the constituents in terms of highway and bridge maintenance, but also in terms of our facilities. One of the programs that I'm a very strong supporter of, and the constituents within Arapahoe County have strongly supported over the last several years, is our open space program. We're in the process right now of upgrading our master plan for open spaces. As many of you know, a quarter-cent sales tax that funds our parks, trails, and open spaces for the county will expire in 2023. More than 62% of the funds are shared back with municipalities and special districts. This provides them with significant financial support to help provide maintenance for their open space activities, as well as provide them with funding to do new programs, acquire more land to dedicate to open space, and the maintenance required for many of the projects that we all enjoy. Arapahoe County is blessed by this program, and that we have many miles of trails. We have sports facilities that we help maintain throughout the county, and other recreational opportunities that I think we all are very proud of, and we use on a regular basis. As we finalize the master plan to help guide the future investments needed within the county, we're looking at what people like, what works, what needs to be maintained, what needs to be, what new programs we need to implement to meet the recreational and aesthetic requests and environment that this open space provides. So we're considering right now asking voters to renew the open space sales tax program in 2021. This will ensure that we can continue to maintain our parks and recreational activities, the ball fields, the soccer fields, the other recreational programs that our constituents throughout the county and within the cities and municipalities utilize, and really improve the requirement that so many constituents support to ensure that the quality of life in Arapahoe County continues to be maintained. Another important issue for county commissioners and for all of us to be concerned about is our transportation program. We're currently working on a transportation master plan that frankly has been in trouble. We haven't had the funding to really maintain the quality of our roads that I personally, as a member of the National Association of Counties Transportation Committee, that I'm very much concerned about. We're with the deterioration and inability for us to provide the highest level of maintenance on our roads, our trails, and our infrastructure, bridges and such. We need to maintain our commitment to a multimodal transportation system. That includes all forms of transportation, whether it's trails or biking or our highways and our county roads. Internationally, we have over 30,000 miles of roads that counties throughout the United States maintain. We have the total responsibility of maintaining those roads. And those roads are important for many things, for business development, that is to say, the growth that we're seeing along I-70 with respect to our warehouse and efforts to meet the e-trade and e-commerce responsibilities that Colorado is growing at a very strong rate. For example, Amazon. We have right now, and we have a major Amazon distribution center in Aurora, and there are others in development throughout the state, which requires good roads to be able to get our their services to our constituents and sent out across the country. We invite Colorado residents to participate in planning around the growth and traffic issues. All of us are concerned about the growing congestion that we're experiencing, and that's going to take money. That's going to take planning and prioritization. And with county residents participating in this effort, we get an idea of what really transportation issues you're as a constituent concerned about. Congestion is one that's a big issue, and that's going to require a variety of the transportation challenges, whether it be improving mass transit, whether it's improving the way we get to and from work, and using the multimodal concept by saying that people have a variety of opportunities, and we want to find those opportunities as most effective, cost effective, and provide an opportunity to get people to and from work without having to depend totally on the automobile. I want to thank all of you for listening to this presentation, and I'm going to put you back to Luke, who's going to open it up for questions. I want to thank you again for your support and realize the importance that your ideas and concepts and concerns, we want to hear from you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Before I start taking questions, I just want to remind everyone, if you're calling in and you want to ask the Commissioner something, you can dial *3 and that'll put you through to an operator, and we can get your question answered that way. If you are watching online, you can put a question in the comments box and we will answer it that way. Normally I would chat with you for a minute, but we have a relevant question here from a caller for the Commissioner. This is about the Veterans Service Office. So this is Nicholas from Aurora. Nicholas, go ahead, and you're live with the Commissioner.
Yes, Commissioner. This is your neighbor. I've been concerned about this Veteran Service Center since before the hospital was built, and I'm bringing it up again because I did not hear a priority for veterans in your presentation. It's very critical that veterans have services near and dear to the hospital, as opposed to going all the way across town to Inglewood or to Golden in order to get services. And I've asked you about this several times, but nothing has happened. Do you propose to do anything about it during this last term?
Well, thank you, Nicholas. We've been working on that concern for some time. Finally, last year, we were able to negotiate with Adams County and the city of Aurora, and we will be opening a full-time veteran service officer in Aurora to serve our Aurora veterans. It'll be at the I don't have the exact address, but it'll be off of Colfax and Chambers at the county building located there, and we'll have a full-time VSO there to help veterans directly. So you don't have to take a bus or drive your car all the way to our veteran service officer in Littleton. We'll have 3 full-time veteran service officers serving veterans in the county, and I know that Aurora has a large percentage of veterans, and we just haven't adequately provided the services to ensure that their claims and their concerns are addressed. As you probably know, I'm a disabled Vietnam veteran and have spent most of my career as an advocate for veteran services. So I'm very happy to announce that we do have an agreement. We will have an office open, so watch the paper. And obviously the COVID virus pandemic has impacted us significantly in delaying the opening of this service center, and we're looking forward to being able to provide direct services to our veterans in Aurora.
Absolutely. As the Commissioner mentioned, we're going to be probably doing some kind of a publicity event around that, obviously with the COVID protocols in place and so forth. But that should be coming really in the very near future. So please keep an eye on our website for that. And that, as the Commissioner mentioned, putting something in Aurora really services the vets that live over there, which is that's a big part of the population. Obviously, Adams County has a lot of veterans as well. So we're happy to be able to do that and to add that service even in these budget times. So Yeah, so Commissioner, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned open spaces. That is the department, one of the departments to which you are the liaison this year. You mentioned the reauthorization tax that we're talking about putting out there. What else can you tell us about what's going on in open spaces this year?
Well, we've, and I can't remember the direct, I mentioned that nearly 50% of the funding that we get from the sales tax goes directly to our municipalities. I think last year we gave Aurora over $9 million for them to spend, as long as they spend it on open space programs, recreational facilities and such. They have a free hand of the disbursement of those funds. In addition to that, we provide, with the rest of the funding that we have available, we provide direct grants to specific projects that municipalities and cities and special districts are interested in selecting. I think last year we gave nearly an additional $1 million to the city of Aurora for improvements in their athletic program. I think we provided funding for the lights over at the athletic park off of I-70 or 6th Avenue, and other majority of programs. We also provide funding for smaller communities, such as those communities in the eastern part of my district. So I think that the program is very well accepted by the community, and I think that I would just urge when we put it on the ballot again, probably this year, that we all support that, because everybody in the county and actually people outside the county come in and seek to utilize these special activities. That the Highland Canal is one area that we help fund, as well as the Triple Creek program. So it's just a great program, and I think it's so important for us to preserve opportunity for wildlife, opportunity for recreational activities within Aurora, within Littleton, and other cities in the county that provide recreational opportunities for a variety of interests.
Absolutely. Speaking of recreational opportunities, you can't talk about open spaces without thinking about the county fair. We have an online question wondering if we're going to have a county fair in 2021. Where are we in the decision process for that?
Well, right now we haven't made a direct determination. I think the issue of where we are with COVID, but I think right now we're looking at having a fair. Last year, because of the COVID crisis, we had to cancel a portion of the fair, but we were able to continue the operation of our 4-H program. So those 4-Hers had an opportunity to show their talents and their skills, both at animal display and some of the special projects that they all do. The 4-H program is one of the most is funded through the CSU and the federal government to provide opportunities for young people to learn specific skills, everything from learning how to cook, bake, take care of animals. But the big activity at the fair is to show their animals. And I think last year the one young man won a significant amount of money, and I can't remember the exact amount, for a bull that he raised, and is bought from by restaurants and other organizations, and that provides money for his education, his college education. So it's a great program.
Absolutely. And one of the sort of silver linings of the COVID shutdowns last spring is that our 4-H kids in Arapahoe County were able to remotely connect with some 4-H kids out in Tennessee and sort of share knowledge, share experiences, that kind of thing, form friendships. So that was really a rewarding thing. And from our communications meetings that the fairgrounds is first of all, they're still doing events, so we have things upcoming like a 5K run. There's a wine event later in the spring or summer. And as far as the fair is concerned, even if we're still in any kind of COVID situation, obviously, if it doesn't get worse, if it's still improving, they're talking about creative ways to to have the fair open with a limited number of participants, maybe doing it almost in shifts, that kind of thing, a couple hundred people at a time. So again, keep an eye on our website to get more information about that. We'll probably have some more decisions made, in the early spring, I would think, about the fair itself. So just to remind everybody, if you're on the phone and want to ask a question of the commissioner, dial *3 and go through to an operator, or just pop it into the comments box and we will answer it. I'm going to go to a phone question now. This is from Mark, and he's going to talk to or ask you about the Buckley Buffer Project. You are live, Mark.
Hi, good evening, Commissioner. Thank you for providing this opportunity to talk with you directly. It's great. I am new to the area, and I live near Buckley Air Force Base and have heard about the Buffer Project, but I don't really know what it is. I wondered if you could walk me through what all that entails.
Well, thank you for the question. I think that many of you on this call are aware of the national security program out at Buckley Air Force Base. It's one of the, frankly, is one of the most important national security bases in the country. We have a variety of activity out there, including the 460th Space Wing, now under the Space Force program, which provides early warning protection from missile attacks on the continental United States. There's also another facility out there called the Aerospace Data Facility, which provides some of the most sensitive intelligence information gathering that this country does. It was capable of detecting most of the information out there is classified. I can't talk about it, but it provides a significant amount of intel throughout the world that helps our national security and the National Command Authority, which is the president and senior military advisors, to know what's going on in the world that may be a threat to our national security. In addition, there are several other operations out there. The 140th Fighter Wing, which is part of what's called the Noble Eagle program, which has on standby fighter aircraft to, in case they need to intercept another aircraft that is threatening the United States, such as what happened on 9/11. They also have a naval facility out there, and National Guard aviation facility, and others. In that process, for a variety of reasons, the base needed an expansion of their buffer zone around it because of national security considerations, and also a buffer for helping to mitigate the noise of the aircraft that are utilizing the air base. The county, along with Aurora, the national several national environmental groups came together through the leadership of Arapahoe County and the Air Force and other entities to commit to acquiring those areas around the base to prevent any kind of intrusion, and both from an environmental standpoint, both from an intrusion standpoint, but also from a electronic surveillance standpoint. So the county came up with nearly $4 million to purchase this land through our open space program to allow the development of or the protection of open space land around the base, providing trails and other recreational opportunities in concert with other entities. The E470 authority granted additional funds, nearly $2 million in grants and $2 million in low interest loans to get the project completed. So it is a great. So now there's protection from any kind of commercial intrusion or any other kind of threat that may be present in protecting the base. And it was a clear example of collaboration of a program that provided both open space lands for our citizens, in addition to providing security for our armed forces. So it's an example of how collaboration can really work. And been a big advocate of collaboration between different entities because we just don't have, the county doesn't have the money to do all this, but we can, by working together, we can accomplish a thing or a program that really has multiple benefits to not only the community but also to our national security. It's recognized by the Pentagon as one of the most successful, what they call a P3 program in the country. And the template that we used to develop what we've accomplished is now used by the Department of Defense in other areas, in other facilities throughout the world.
Excellent. And, speaking of collaboration, I'm going to shift gears here a little bit, but I have an online question that is talking about the difficulty that some people are having in getting unemployment benefits. This is something, of course, that is a state level thing and state and federal in most cases. But I'm wondering, does the county have a role to play in this as far as advocating for those who are still waiting for their unemployment benefits?
Yes, we do. Well, we have through our works program, we provide assistance in helping individuals get their unemployment processing done. What happened recently was the state developed a new computer program that was supposed to be more efficient in handling unemployment claims, but unfortunately, it was a bad timing. You don't bring a new system in the middle of a pandemic, and it really failed to meet the increased usage and number of claims filed, and there were several glitches. That has been repaired. I think now we're seeing that those problems that were experienced in the last couple months are repaired, and people should feel more confident in the application problems, and we'll probably see a more efficient and effective disbursement of these funds to people in need.
Yeah, let's hope so. And speaking of those in need, I know that, over the course of your tenure, you've done a lot of work with both homelessness and anti-opioid addiction type services and efforts. These are the kind of things that have really gotten worse in a lot of ways in the last year. What can you tell us about what the county is doing? I mean, you mentioned a little bit in some of our slideshow, but talk a little bit about how you got into this as an issue and where you think we are as far as how the county is doing with it.
Well, prior to the COVID-19 crisis, I was instrumental in getting the county and the state involved in addressing the problem of opioid addiction. Since COVID, and we effectively begin to reduce that through a variety of programs. But COVID-19, unemployment, and the other issues, other social economic issues associated with that, we've seen a significant increase in in opioid addiction across the county, and that translates into deaths. Um, the opioid crisis is not going away. However, we've made much progress in the last 10 years since I've been involved with it. We have a national recognition from the federal level of improved funding for addiction cessation programs. We've also seen a stronger commitment from the state and from the judiciary. The county is a party of a suit against several of the major manufacturers of opioid products, and successfully have negotiated an out of court settlement that will provide significant monies in the millions of dollars from several of the opioid manufacturing companies who were found to be not credible in some of their claims about the drugs, and actually promoted and provided incentives to drugstores and physicians to push this product as a non-addictive solution to pain reduction. It actually destroyed millions of people's lives. I was impacted by it, my family, myself, not individually, but my nephew ultimately died of an overdose of OxyContin. So I was passionately involved in it. We brought together a collaborative of organizations like Kaiser Permanente and the Tri-County Health Department and others to put together programs that have really helped lobby for more improved recognition from state and federal authorities in developing programs to begin to address it. It's a very serious problem, and it pales to what the COVID virus has done in terms of ending the lives of nearly 500,000 plus individuals who have died as a result of this insidious disease. But I'm proud of my activity in that, and waking up people to the dangers.
Well, yeah, just the homelessness. They're kind of often linked together. The county has a lot of programs that address homelessness. What sort of things are you personally involved in with that?
Well, for example, we've dispersed a lot of COVID funding to various homeless programs, such as the Aurora Warms the Night is one program that we provided funding for, nearly $2 million to help get people during inclement weather who are homeless into shelters, to provide them with a warm place to stay. We've supported funding for programs in food banks to ensure that effective nutritional programs are available to the homeless. But more importantly, I think we've led the way in calling attention to the problem and seeking out to develop coalitions that can begin to address the problem in a more universal way. An individual needs a place to stay, needs food, needs medical help, and needs a job. And those are the 5 issues that I think we all have to seek ways of achieving to get these individuals off the streets and into and on the journey to be productive tax-paying citizens in this county and in the United States.
Absolutely. I'm going to open it up to one more phone question here. This is Annette from Aurora with a question about a new jail. Annette, go ahead. You are live.
Yes, thank you for taking my question. You mentioned that we are building a new jail in Arapahoe, and I'm assuming it's a county jail. And I have four-part question. One is, where will that jail be located? When do you anticipate it being completed? What will be the capacity? And who will operate it? Will it be government or private?
Well, I can speak personally. I'm not a fan of private institution operating our criminal justice system, and that's my personal opinion. We did make an effort last cycle two cycles ago, I guess, to request assistance and support from our constituents to increase, to allow us to fund and bond for a new jail, which was about $400 million. That was defeated by the constituents of Arapahoe County nearly 2-1. So that told us that there isn't a lot of support within our communities to build a new jail. The COVID virus pandemic has provided an opportunity for us to rethink that issue. The result has been we've lessened the number of people that were the detainees that we're keeping in jail, and releasing those with nonviolent crimes and other minor misdemeanor crimes into the community, and that has allowed us to reduce our population within the jail from nearly 1,200 inmates to under 600, which has lessened the demand for increased jail capacity. Now, we're still going to have to maintain that existing jail, and there's a lot of issues that have to be addressed: the plumbing, the kitchen, and other recreational activities that we have in the jail that are going to have to maintain. And the one big one right now is our booking and release facility, which is not very efficient and not very safe. We have people coming in who are under arrest, people going out who are being released, and it's just a formula for potential violence. So we're focusing right now on a way to improve that and fund that, so that our police officers and sheriff's deputies and county employees are not put into a situation where their very welfare and safety is under concern. So that's one thing that we're focusing on. And I think the other issue that this process has forced us into is that we're considering the need for judicial reform. We're operating under kind of an antiquated, punitive system of justice, which needs to be reevaluated. We have made some success in some of the reforms. For example, we've created a veterans court, a mental health court, and a drug court, which provides a diversion from incarceration. And these have been very successful. We have been able to get, people are still under the threat of incarceration, but they come back into a court. They have to enter into, whether it's drug abuse or alcohol treatment programs or mental health programs, and follow the rules and regulations that the judge imposes on them. And if they're successful in the program, the records are clean, and they become productive citizens. I go to those courts occasionally, and we've just tremendous successes where people who have come in with serious crimes and drug and alcohol abuse, who have cleaned themselves up and moved into professions such as electricians, construction workers, computer programmers, and their whole life has been turned around. So that's something that we're looking at as a county, and I think those kinds of programs will lessen the obligation of having jails filled with people that really aren't a threat to the community. There are people that need to be in jail. There are people that have to spend their whole lives in jail because they're a threat to society, and I'm fully supportive of that. But I think by looking at programs that can help those with lesser and none crimes of violence have an opportunity to change their lives, and I've seen it hundreds of times be successful. So I'm a supporter of that process.
And just so we're clear, there currently are no firm plans for a new jail. We're just examining all the potential opportunities, right?
That's correct. I think it's given us an opportunity to kind of expand our view of the totality of the justice system. And frankly, personally, I don't think it's working. We need to look at alternatives.
Definitely. We have time for another question or two. I'm going to get one from online here. Carolyn online is asking about the potential sale of E470. That's been in the news a little bit over the last few months. What can you tell us about the latest on that?
Well, I serve on the E470 board of directors, and we've been approached by an organization that is offering a proposal to buy out the tollway system and provide funding to eliminate the debt, pay off all the debt that we have, and provide funding for the stakeholders within that are on the board. Okay, we have cities in Arapahoe County, Douglas County, and Adams County are all stakeholders in the program. We've looked at that, and the general consensus among the board members and the management team is that we will not consider an unsolicited proposal, which this is. And at some point, we may want to look at that and provide opportunities for organization interested in providing a proposal to look at it. But at this point, it's two things have happened. One, the COVID pandemic has significantly reduced our revenues. Nearly 27% of our revenues on the tollway are come from to and from transit to and from the airport, and the airport has been significantly reduced. Airport travel and airline travel is significantly reduced, so that's put us in some concern. And not many people are. The toll numbers are coming up significantly. They're nowhere near where they were prior to the pandemic. So we're dealing with that as an organization and finding ways to ensure that we can operate provide sufficient funding to operate to provide operational costs for the facility. But we're seeing an increase in tolls on both that. In addition to the E470 tollway, we provide the tolling program for the other tollways within Colorado, such as the Northwest Parkway and the new C470 program tollway.
Well, it sounds like your dog is about had enough.
Well, that's the neighbor's dog. I'm going to close this window. That might help him.
I got you. All right. Well, we're at the hour mark anyway, so I just wanted to thank the commissioner and thank all of you for joining us. Again, this is Conversations with a Commissioner. These are quarterly events that each commissioner does in their own districts, and we hope to see you again in person soon. And please stay tuned to our website for news updates about everything we've talked about tonight. Thank you, Commissioner Holen.
Well, thank you, Luke, for the opportunity to talk to my constituents. I think this is a great way of doing it. And I think one of the positive things that's come out of COVID, we were able to answer questions directly with our constituents. And I want to thank again all the constituents in the Commissioner 5th District. I'm here to listen to you, and my philosophy has always been I've had a long career in politics, both federally and locally, and I want to indicate that my goal is to give voice to those who can't speak up and support the constituency of my district. So thank you very much, and I enjoyed this opportunity to interact with those people. Thank you.